Hey there, it's Anonymous T, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking Love Island USA Season 5, Episode 3, and I just have to say, you guys, I've had it. I am already annoyed this season. I've already been annoyed by the first 2 episodes, but I'm like extra annoyed tonight because the show is no longer Love Island. The show is Sympathy Island, and in particular, we are spending the episode, instead of seeing couples get to know each other to see if there are any messy love triangles or all of that, we are spending half of the episode on Bergie, you guys. And I just don't understand. I don't understand why we are giving this so much attention. I can't even get any scenes anymore besides bed scenes of Keenan and KK now. Like, I'm just lost for words, right? I am just lost for words as to why Anna and Jasmine are teaching Bergie lessons on dating and all of the things. And here's what's going to happen, like I told you it was going to happen, because even Sarah Highland was giving him attention when she came in tonight at the fire pit, just zeroed in on Bergie. I don't want weekends at Bergie's every single day on Love Island, you guys. I don't want Bergie Island. He is a nice guy, seems like he comes from a nice world or what have you, but this whole thing where these people like to do on these shows, on these reality shows, is try to mold a awkward person or what have you into something that they're not, and have people take pity on them and sympathy on them. And this is a show about dating and finding love. It is fast-paced. It has a lot of twists and turns and different things happening here. But we are focusing way too much on Bernie. Like I said, he's a nice guy. He means well. It's nothing personal against him. But I want to see Love Island. I don't want to see Bernie Island. I don't want to see Sympathy Island. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't want to do it. And they're going to lose fans if this is going to continue. He should have remained dumped on that first episode. I'm sorry. Because if this is going to turn into a situation where people are going to feel pity on him, where bombshells are going to see the love and the movement that is starting on certain platforms for him, they're going to, pick him on purpose for safety. But the moment that the opportunity presents themselves for them to go after somebody they're actually attracted to, they're going to leave Bernie in the dust. And it is going to be a waste of our time. It is going to be a very long 6 weeks if this is what the show wants in store for us. Love Island UK would never. Now, they do have people randomly that they will keep for long periods of time, but at least those people are bringing something to the show, right? They're giving us drama. They're giving us a storyline, right? They're giving us at least something, right? But Bergie is completely a newborn baby, a complete fish out of water, has no idea to kiss, it was his first time being in bed with another woman. Like, he is completely clueless, and this show, Love Island USA, most of the challenges are about, and dares are about sex and having sexual chemistry and all of the things. So how is that appropriate to have somebody like Bergie on here? He needed to be on a show on Netflix like Sexy Beast or Love is Blind or on Lifetime on Married at First Sight. That would have been the appropriate shows for somebody like Bergie, who would have guaranteed found a match, right? But this whole thing where we're trying to push Bergie and make him happen and make him, the sympathetic person and everybody has to go to him. No. You're going to lose so many viewers if you do this, you guys. You are going to lose so many viewers if this is the direction that the show is going. So back to the episode, right? Because that was half the episode. So we have now our bombshells, because they have to choose somebody in 24 hours of who they're going to steal. And so we see Hannah and Carmen. They are, after all of these guys. They're trying to talk to all of these guys, trying to see who has a connection and all of that. And, then it is revealed to Hannah that Marco and Destiny are not on good terms. So she's like, eyeing him as a possibility. And then in the midst of the grafting and all of these things, we have a challenge, right? We have our first challenge called like high school dropouts or something. Everybody was dressed like Britney Spears from the Baby One More Time video. And essentially what it was there were two teams of people, and based off of the quote-unquote school subjects, you had to think of words or things that people do. So for instance, one of the things was like, okay, name everything that rhymes with sock, or name something that gives you an ick. And so you go against another person basically sitting like on one of those I'm trying to think of it like the carnival where like you sit and then they'll like push the button, you fall in the water. It's like escaping me right now, but nonetheless, basically you have to go back and forth with your opponent to, you know, answer the questions as far as, you know, different things. I think one of the questions was, you know, name different types of sex positions. And so what'll happen is whoever the person that stalls ends up getting, you know, tanked into the pool. So, and the person who is the winner, they get to choose somebody who they want to kiss. So what was interesting was Hannah chose Bergie to kiss, even though he has no kissing experience. And Victor chose Destiny to kiss as well as Carmen to kiss. And I felt a certain type of way of this because why aren't producers showing Destiny get to know some of the other men? We saw her in the last episode talking to Keenan in the background. We don't know if it's just for friendship purposes or what, but apparently she talked to Victor enough to where Victor felt they had enough in common for him to select her to kiss. And so I found that to be very, 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 very interesting, right? And so I felt a certain type of way that we didn't see any of that, right? And so it seems like, you know, Victor and Carmen are getting on. And it's funny now that the bombshells are there, now all of a sudden all of these women, sans KK, basically want to holler at Victor. But remember in the first episode, you couldn't stand him. You did not want to couple up with him. You left him in the dust for Leo and Marco, of all people, right? Who are turning out to be duds, right? Leo seems to think that he is the hot commodity of the villa. Marco is taking zero responsibility for the issues with Destiny. He never communicated to Destiny what his love language was, that he was expecting physical touch and cuddling and all of these things in bed, which is a joke, considering you marked your territory with her within hours of you being coupled up with her. And I just knew he didn't really like her, right? I just knew he didn't like her, but he wanted to have her as backup in the event any of these bombshells or anybody else doesn't work out, and it just went completely left. Now, we can debate all day on whether or not you feel that Destiny didn't handle the situation right, but ultimately there is blame to go on both sides. So there it is, right? We had the girls were trying to be nosy with Keenan and KK because they have been very affectionate and have, you know, been having some really intimate kissing and touching and all of the things. And so the girls were like, hey, have you touched the thing yet? Is the thing thinging? And KK was like, mind your business, right? And so the girls were all like freaking out or whatever and took that to mean that they might have done something more than just kissing, right? But nonetheless, we have not seen it because, again, if it's similar to the UK version, if you do not talk about it on camera, they do not show it, is from what my understanding is, right? So we had that. They had a very passionate kiss in the game, so that was cute. And I was very disturbed because I was like, we need more Keenan and KK, and I feel like their camera time is being sabotaged. I absolutely do, right? So we get back from the challenge because Cassie is pissed at Anna, who also is walking around like she's the hot commodity of the villa. She gets into this long, passionate kiss with Leo, you guys. This long, passionate kiss, even though she's supposed to be BFFs with Cassie. Make it make sense, right? And so her and Jasmine are off on the beanbag, separated and segregated from, you know, Cassie, Destiny, and KK. And they're up here complaining that these bombshells want their men, which is understandable because it's going to put them on the chopping block, right? So, you know, but Cassie felt a certain way because her and Anna were supposed to be BFFs, and she's up here in a long makeout session, for whatever reason, with Leo, just completely embarrassing his couple. Meanwhile, he's still trying to do some handsy stuff under the sheets with Cassie at nighttime. Meanwhile, he is telling Anna to her face that she is his number one now. Like, it's just all a hot mess, and you could just tell that Leo is just here for, you know, a short time, a good time, not a long time, and is just going to tell tell whoever the last person he speaks to what they want to hear, which is not going to be a recipe for somebody trying to win Love Island. You're not going to happen, Joe. You're not going to happen doing that. So we fast forward to the end of the episode, in which Sarah Hyland comes back. Like I said at the beginning, she's up here gassing up Bergie and that he's back and all of these things. And then men now, I think Keenan is on duty for how to dress Bergie. And like I said, Jasmine and Anna are on duty on how he needs to talk to women. And it's just all a hot mess, you guys. It is all a, teach me how to Bergie, and I'm just over it. I am over all of it, but nonetheless, we get to the bombshells having the opportunity to steal somebody, and so she reveals that they had a text message, and that they chose not to share it with the group, that they could steal somebody, and basically Hannah and Carmen played it like, listen, we did not want anybody to just try to get to know us for the sake of being picked. We wanted to actually get to know people and see if it was genuine. So per the challenge, I guess whoever got the most correct or whatever, or what team won, Carmen was able to pick first, and so she picked Victor, even though I think Hannah is also filling Victor, as well as the rest of the villa, sans KK. So that's going to be interesting to see. And he immediately puts his arm around Carmen. He is like so happy to be around her. He's got like his hand on her thigh, and then he's up here winking at Keenan, and I'm like, these men are messy. And even like Leo was trying to get in on the action and do some side eyes and some shade, and Cassie was like, don't say anything, don't do anything. And Cassie's up here having a meltdown, you guys, because she thinks somebody's going to choose Leo, right? And Leo's going to be the one who everybody is going to flirt with, and everybody is going to, be a number on his roster, and then they're going to go with somebody else who is going to make them the priority, right? So then we have Hannah, right? And I thought Hannah was going to choose Bergie because she chose him to kiss in the challenge. So I thought, well, naturally, she's going to choose him for a couple, right? No. She ends up choosing Marco, which leaves Destiny vulnerable. So Sarah Hyland says, there's going to be a recoupling soon, and that there's going to be one female Islander that's potentially dumped. So I'm wondering if 2 male bombshells are coming, because as it stands right now, Bergie is single, Anna is single, Jasmine is single, as well as Destiny. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they could get a bombshell, specifically Destiny, because I think Destiny more so is at risk to being on the chopping block than anybody else. So, but I'm pulling that she could stay, but she's going to have to really get after it, right? Also, in the preview for tomorrow, I feel a certain type of way because people are mad. Jasmine's crying about Victor, even though she could care less about the guy. Said that they were complete opposites, but didn't start liking him until all of these other women showed interest in him, and now all of a sudden she is trying to, cry her eyes out and make it seem like, they're more than what they ever were after 3 days, you guys. And then we have Cassie, who is after Keenan, talking about how bad she wants to get to know him, all because Leo no longer wants her. She thinks, she's going to utilize her Latin spice, right, to get Keenan, to lure Keenan, and hopefully Keenan does not take this bait, right? Because him and KK are in a good trajectory. And how dare you, Cassie, sit there and complain and cry about what Anna is doing to you with Leo, and you pull the same BS to KK, who is supposed to be your friend. And so we see KK in the preview crying and saying, you're supposed to be trustworthy and all these things. So I don't know if she's crying to Keenan or if she is crying to Cassie, but nonetheless, it is foul of Cassie to do that to KK after just, receiving that karma yourself, of that happening to yourself. Why would you want to do that to somebody else, right? And so, I don't know. These girls this season are messy. These girls this season are being fake to each other. They're fake friends. These men are, like I said, they're already in like this fraternity to where they're just running circles around the women right now. And they're not even all that to be doing all of that, right? But these girls got super clingy, super fast, and have just assumed that because they're in a couple with them, whether there is a romantic connection or not, that they're off limits. And they told you, all right, bet, I'm still going to talk to other women. So it's just a disaster. We need some more men. We need some more alpha men coming in. Victor by far is, you know, showing that he is the most mature out of all of the men. Keenan seems like he's good vibes, but I'm a little nervous that he might be a player, so I'm still trying to hold out to see ultimately what happens in tomorrow's episode, if he is going to stay true to KK, or if he is going to bleep things up already and put himself at risk on being on the next flight home. Right? So hopefully he gets it together. Hopefully he knows the history of the show not to mess this up. Not to mess this up with KK, because you have a very good connection. You have a very solid connection. And more than likely, you two are going to be the first ones heading to the hideaway. So please do not screw this up already, right? But I have a feeling, because they're technically the only quote-unquote genuine couple that's progressed this far, and this is what production likes to do, they like to start throwing bombshells at the couple who is the most genuine. They like to give them all these obstacles and all these tests to go after them to see ultimately if their heads are going to turn and if they're going to leave their original couple, to cause stress and drama. And I knew it immediately when I saw Cassie. I was like, oh no, they are setting Keenan and KK up for a disaster, right? They are setting it up to bring in different bombshells, whether they're all going to be for Keenan or some are going to be for KK, to see if either one of them are going to turn. So we will continue to monitor that. I hope they see through it and stick it out with each other and realize that they have a good thing and they have a potential to go to the end and be a finalist at least. So we will see about that. But that is all that I had for episode 3. Please let me know what you think of it in the comments. Are you happy with all of the Bergie exposure? Do you think it is too much? Do you think we're seeing too little of the other Islanders? Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.